start this recording just in case anybody's not able to join the call. So today our presentation is called Think Big, 4 bedrooms. This is our focus right now. So across the board, we have about 94 bedrooms to lease at all of our communities. So that is a lot, 94 bedrooms. I will give a gift card very quickly to whatever team on the line can either unmute yourself or chat in the chat box how many 4 bedrooms you currently have right now at your community to lease. You know offhand how many 4 bedrooms without looking in Entrata. Okay, who was that?
Justin.
Justin, how many did you say?
94? We think we have 4. We think. We don't know. We think
Justin,
4.
you said you have 94?
Or you mean individually or all together as a company?
Just at your community. So Justin, you said you have 4?
24. Yes.
34, too many to count.
Okay, so you told me first, so I'm going to verify that after the call, and if so, then you win that gift card. Okay. All right, but Justin, you're right. We have about 94 total altogether as a whole, 4 bedrooms across communities. So if you're on the line, you don't have a 4-bedroom home, that's perfectly fine. You may have a 4-bedroom coming out in the future, so we want to make sure that we're all on the same goal, and you can actually utilize this training for 3s, 2s, and 1s. So let's get started. All right, so our objective is to go over how to set goals for 4 bedrooms. We're also going to go over how to upsell from a 3 to a 4. We do have some guest speakers on the line. We have Louisa and we have Justin. Thank you all for joining us today. We're going to go over some Q&A. We'll go over what's working for you guys when it comes to follow-ups. What are some good closing techniques that help you guys close on 4 bedrooms? And our last thing we'll go over is how does your product differ from the comps? So let's jump into that. All right, so 4 is the goal. So when it comes to setting goals, of course, we have to have what? An objective. So our objective is to lease as many 4 bedrooms as possible for your community. So once we get that objective down, that's our goal right now, is to sell as many 4 bedrooms. That's our first step. Second step is the plan. So you want to get with your team. You want to get with your manager, your assistant, get all the leasing team together. Set a time to meet and discuss how you're going to actually put a plan in action to get these 4 bedrooms leased up. And as far as like accountability, who's going to do what? Who's going to do what task items? Who's going to be participating in leasing these apartment homes? Is it just going to be leasing? Is it going to be assistants and the manager? Who's going to be doing what? So planning is going to be very important. Schedule. So you want to get as far as during your planning time, figure out how long it's going to take you to lease these 4 bedrooms that you have available, what you have exposed. So it's really important to go into Entrata and find out what you have exposed. All right, so once again, like I said, team, so who's going to be contributing to the leasing? So it's really important. Is it just going to be leasing? You're going to get the assistants and leasing? Is it going to be the manager getting in and leasing as well? Or is it just going to be the leasing team divided amongst the 3 or 2, depending on who you have there? And task. So task pretty much is creating an inventory of available 4 bedrooms. So does anybody know how to find out how many 4 bedrooms you have available at this time? So anybody but Louisa and Justin.
It's your availability.
Availability report, okay. What's another way you can find how many you have exposed for 4 bedrooms? So just in case you get this report every Monday, and you have the availability of going to the reports, going to MMR, and pulling your box score. So when you go to your box score, I'm actually just using Lux Prosper here as an example. And I'm able to go directly to their 4 bedrooms here at the bottom, the D1 and the D1A. And I can see that they have a total of 9 4 bedrooms totaling that are exposed to lease. They have, they have 4 that are ready. That are ready to view at the moment, and then they have 5 that are coming up that are on notice. So if you go directly to your box score as well, like Katie said, your availability report, you can see both of these. This just kind of breaks it down in a little easier number of along with your other unit availability to see what you have that is exposed, and exposed means available to lease. Right. So that was your box score report there. So you want to create an inventory of what you have available to lease. maybe some other items you can do to break up within your team to kind of make sure we get these leased out, or creating mini models. So maybe one person in charge of creating mini models for all of these 4 bedrooms that we have available that are already available to tour and lease. Get a show unit list together. Target your audience on social media. So whoever's your person on site that does your social media, get that person, brainstorm together with them, have them, create some type of little storyboard maybe, and maybe put something together that you can target just that 4-bedroom audience altogether. We are having a 4-bedroom social media contest. So if you guys have seen that, anybody is available to join and participate in that. If you don't have a 4-bedroom, feel free to do it when you're a 3-bedroom, or 2s or 1s, but we would love for everybody to participate. But whoever has the best video that Lori will go over and Lori will approve, and will decide who the winning factor is amongst our regionals, then they'll be the ones to win that prize. So there'll be gift cards, and there'll be a team lunch as well. All right, so create money model, show units, target your audience on social media, and of course, follow-ups and closing. All right, let me go back to my, and of course, execute. Make sure it's done. You can write all these items down that need to be completed, but if you don't do them, then you're not going to reach your goal. All right, let's talk a little bit about upselling from your 3s to 4 bedrooms. How many of you guys have actually done that, where you've actually got a chance to upsell from going either from a 2 to a 3 or a 3 to a 4? Do y'all do that much, or do y'all just usually stick with that target desired floor plan?
No, I mean, the price difference, when you're talking like with us, it's a difference of what, $300 for best rate for,
Additional space.
yeah, for an additional 800 square foot. It's, I mean, no brainer.
Yeah, I was looking at, I believe it was Lux Prosper in general. The difference between the 3-bedroom and the 4-bedroom was, like you said, it was less than $300. It was actually $277 was the additional difference between the two, and you're getting a lot larger space. You're getting, maybe depending on what product you have, an alternate master bedroom and so on. How about you guys, Mansions Prosper? Have you guys got a chance to be able to upsell from a 3 to a 4, or from a smaller unit to a bigger unit?
Yeah, especially those who mentioned that they have like storage units. I upsell them on how much storage we have in the 4 bedrooms, so that kind of gives them an idea of how they budget themselves.
That's a great idea. So how do you come across finding out like that they have a storage unit? Do you ask if they have storage units, or do they tell you that, or what's easier for you? How do you get that information?
I always want to ask a bunch of questions to find out where I could use whatever they mentioned to upsell on a bigger unit.
That's a great idea. I haven't had a storage unit in a while, but storage units can run about $100, $150, sometimes even $200, depending on how much storage space you're actually utilizing. No, but that's perfect. You can actually show them that they can get rid of other expenses and kind of condense down to having that convenience of having it already in your home. All right, so we talked about price difference, and know the price difference between your 3s and your 4s. That way you can kind of upsell and say, hey, for $100 more, for $200 more, for $300 more, you're getting another bedroom, and you're getting a whole another bathroom as well. How much more space are they receiving in a 4-bedroom? So get your floor plans together. If you don't know, get your floor plans side by side, look at the room sizes, look at what they're gaining, what they're losing, if they are losing, and see the differences. That way you know what's important to them whenever you're talking to them. Maybe they're looking at the downstairs living room area on a 3-bedroom and seeing where they're going to put their office at. When you have a 4-bedroom, you may be able to even sell that downstairs bedroom as an office. That way they have a separation of living space and work. Like, has anybody ever worked from home before? We've all had to work in an office. If you've ever had to work from home before, there's just something about being able to escape that work area and be able to go to a space where it's just your own personal living space where you have that balance. So that's a great alternative when it comes to selling that downstairs bedroom if you do have that kind of floor plan, or if you have a floor plan that your 4-bedroom, you have one room all the way on the opposite side of the living spaces. So some units have additional storage space. If you have our new duplex style model, you have that, I call it the Harry Potter closet under the stairs. Because you have that extra space down there. You can go down there and you can put extra storage stuff. It's even a cool, like, little, I don't know, like a fort for your kids to go down there and have that kind of, that child play area. I mean, that's what I would do if I was a kid. I'd probably do it as an adult. It looks kind of fun. And then you have your alternate master bedrooms. So in the duplex style, I know I am saying a lot of this for the duplex style because we do have a lot larger volume of 4 bedrooms available for the duplex style. And I'm curious, how are you guys selling that alternate master bedroom?
Well, like the Prospers, theirs is an actual separate master. We have a large room. We have 2 large rooms upstairs. One's the dedicated master, and the other one has a single bath. But I mean, Louisa and I were talking about it yesterday. We pitched that one as a media room just because of the size and the storage, and yeah, playroom just because of the ease.
And that's pretty amazing. That's awesome that you guys pitch that way, because especially if you have kids, and with the way it's set up, you don't have to worry about that noise factor being a factor of having your neighbors complain about the running back and forth. You know, if that's a playroom in a sense. Another way you can kind of pitch this when it comes to upselling from a 3 to a 4 is selling that in-law suite or the downstairs office. So however you want to how to sell this in the sense. Just know your product, know your floor plan, know how you can sell them on the advantages and the pros and cons of each. Perfect. All right, I have, like I said, my guest speakers I have today, Justin and Louisa. If you guys are not familiar with Justin and Louisa, Justin and Louisa are W3 Luxury Living Top 10 alumni. Louisa was actually last year's Leasing Agent of the Year. Justin and Louisa have been in the top running for the past 3 years in a row now? 2 years? You guys can correct me. Feel free to. But y'all have been on the board. Y'all have been striving for that #1 spot. So I cannot think of anybody more perfect than to get this Q&A going on with you guys. So I want to first start with, before I open up to any kind of Q&A from any of the other people joining the call today, I do want to start with what works for you on closing techniques. So let's talk about closing techniques first. So I'll let Louisa go first, and then Justin, if you can follow after that as far as what is working for you guys for closing techniques. We do have these apartment homes that we are trying to lease, and these are going from high 2s to high 3s to sometimes even in the 4,000s. What are y'all doing to help close these particular apartment homes, and what's working for you? Louisa?
Well, I would say that basically the same difficulties and the challenges that you have from leasing 1, 2, 3s, and 4 bedroom homes are basically the same, right? Because the prospect come, they have the budget, they have the price range that they are looking for. And what I try to do, I start my tour right at the beginning when I see somebody coming through the door. Right? So I try to focus on, especially when I think about like 4 bedroom homes, the market changed a little bit. So now my biggest competition, I would say, for 1, 2s, and 3s are all the properties, like apartment communities. With a great product like this, it's not difficult to sell. Now, when we talk about the 4 bedroom homes, my biggest competition now, because the market changed, are private rental homes, right? So I have to sell, what I try to sell, it is service and the value. So that's why I start my tour. My closing techniques are right from the beginning. I love to talk. I get very shy on the screen, but I do love to talk. So I learned to be a good listener to help me close the leases, right? So I listen to what they want. And I start showing value right out the door. I talk about the property, especially when we talk about 4 bedrooms, because they are looking for houses, private homes, a lot of times with the realtors, and they come to take a tour with me. So I try to give the best service possible, and then I go through everything that we can offer that they cannot get from a private rental home, including, your app, work orders, having 24 hours maintenance available for you for emergencies. Heavy screws. So I sell everything that we can, possible and impossible, to make sure at the end it's difficult for people to, how can I explain to you, to tell me, okay, I don't like this, because I already said so many great things. Then when I finally get out of the house, they already are wowed, right? I show them, I try to change my routine a little bit on tours, because a lot of times I have great tours and people then they want to come back, and I'm very open about that. I said, look, I know you're looking for different homes, different areas, but if you want to come back, I have no problem to show you one more time, and we can make sure you make the good decision. Now, talking about like at the very end for the closing techniques, of course, I mean, you have to take advantage of everything. So in my case, there is an email thank you for visiting me, especially on a Saturday. We are super busy. It's almost impossible to send out an email like, thank you for a text message, right? Thank you for coming to visit me. Please let me know if you have any questions, something like that. So I send that thank you for visiting me email. I think it's good. And then later or the next day, I send a text message just to asking them, look, are you ready to complete your application? Do you have any additional questions for me? Which I think it is important. And I do a follow-up. I pay attention on the time frame, because if there are availability, if I have more availability later on, I touch base with them. I think, scheduling your appointments, it's a big thing. I'm big on that, because you have to maximize your time. Time is money, right? That's what they say. Time is money.
So let me just interrupt you for a second. So as far as that closing techniques, what I'm getting is that you start closing at the beginning of the sale.
Yes.
You also sell everything else that a regular home, that a rental home does not have to offer, which is your 24-hour maintenance, your on-call service in case of emergency, your fitness center, pool, all the different activities that we have. You're selling everything else that people don't think about whenever they are coming for a tour looking for a home. We all know that when we ask for preferences and we ask for specifics, they usually don't have any. But when you combine all the different value that we have, that we offer, and you do that on your tour, that really does make, wow, okay, I understand why, this value is what it is. So I agree with all of that. Thank you. Justin, what about you? What are some closing techniques that have worked for you?
Well, it's hard to follow up with that one, because like she said, I mean, you're right. You're selling more than just a place to lay your head. When it comes to the private rental homes, you're having to do the maintenance yourself. You're having to pay a higher deposit. We're selling more of an experience that comes with the amenities, the gym and all of that. And she's absolutely right. It does start from the beginning. And, Marcus is big on the vibe when he walks into an office. And that's one of the things that Mansions has going for him. And he comments on it every single time. And it's just, I don't even know. Because I tell people all the time on tour, I love where I live. If I didn't want to live here, why would I want you to? I mean, I started as a resident, and here I am now. So it's easy to sell something when you believe in it.
Sure.
100%.
Awesome. I think those are all great points. And just like what you said, a lot of us actually live on site. A lot of us are able to experience what it's like to live here day to day. We know the community, we know the area. So it's really important to input that into your tour. Hey, so just so you know, I live on site here as well. I love it, because they're going to see, okay, this person lives here. So obviously, they're, like you said, they believe in what they're selling. So they're going to kind of trust you more that way. And as far as you said, you feel like you guys have a vibe there. Explain a little bit about the vibe. What's your vibe?
I don't know the vibe, like in your office.
Oh,
I mean, it's a cohesiveness. You're not just three people sitting at desk. It's more of a, especially with, I feel like
it's
this.
a heart. You have to be the heart of that clubhouse, pumping, right? On the same beat. I believe in that, okay? But I
Okay.
think it's not that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, in my mind, I
But
don't
people
think
can pick up on that.
they definitely
Yeah.
they do.
You know,
And
if you walk in and you can feel the tension, you want people to come in and it feel like a home
Feel
because that's
good.
what we're selling. We're selling homes.
But not only that, I would say that even the busiest day, when people walk in and you are on that phone call, then unfortunately it doesn't stop, right? For people calling you, want to make, set up a tour, acknowledge them, turn that phone and say, hi, I'll be right with you, something. Because people, they want to be acknowledged. People, they want to understand that, for example, somebody come and your next tour came later. When you are going on a tour, like I do that all the time, I take a minute, I say, I'm gonna get a key. It's a lie, I have the key on my hand, right? I turn around, I don't lie, okay? But I turn around and I go to the lounge area and I say, hi guys, please, you have a bottle of water here, grab a coffee, take a look, this is the brochure, I'll be right back with you. They understand that, especially if they wanna meet with you, they already bond with you on the phone or on a text message. If they wanna really meet with you, it's always good to acknowledge the presence of somebody else. They feel good about it and then they can wait a little bit more. So the vibe plus acknowledge people, I think it's go hand in hand.
So my next question for Justin. So like Louisa kind of already touched on her part on follow-ups. And what I'm getting from Louisa, her idea is they're already ready to lease. She already in her mind that's saying that they are already going to lease. So she messages them the next day saying, okay, are you ready now? Here's your link to your application. What is your follow-up strategy, Justin?
Call, text, email.
Call, text, email. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
on 4 bedrooms like this, it's such an expensive kind of like decision to make. You believe it's easier to call first to try to get that conversation going first, other than email and text. Is that what I'm getting?
yeah. I mean, and sometimes whenever you're creating your schedule, or you're scheduling all the tours and everything like that, you can kind of get a feeling of how they like to be communicated. I have somebody in DC who really only wants to talk via email, which is fine, but then you never know when you're going to get a response. Or you have people who want to text, or people who only want to talk on the phone. It's just setting those manual follow-ups, reaching out, knowing what's in the area like we've talked about, because you can lay your head anywhere, but you got to know where you stand out. So like with us, like our difference between us and the Prospers is our 4 bedrooms are bigger size-wise. I mean, we also have like the smart home technology. It's just the little things that kind of add up.
Did y'all hear that, Prosperous? He's coming for y'all, Prosperous. Did y'all hear that?
I only know that from work.
He was coming for
I also
Prosperous.
just had somebody who went to Lux Prosper for a 4 bedroom that I toured here. So I mean, it's
good. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your insight. Appreciate it. Before I move on to the next section, does anybody on the line have any questions? Maybe that I didn't ask Louisa or Justin that y'all wanted to ask when it comes to leasing? You got your top 2 right now on the line that are available for questions and answers. If anybody this time has any questions right now, now's your time. All right. I think they're shy. I think they're intimidated by you guys. They're intimidated. This top 2 right here.
No, don't be shy. Ask if you want to answer. We got prepared for the meeting.
Yeah.
Right? We had a meeting ourselves.
Louisa has a list.
I have a whole list here.
All right. Well, we'll come back in a little bit to you guys when we come talk about the competitors. So if you guys want to keep that in mind. Okay. How does your product differ from your competitor? All right. So what are we doing to make sure that we understand our competitors? Just by a show of hands or maybe in the chat box, how many of you guys have actually shopped your 4 bedroom comps? Not the 1 bedroom, not 2, but seen a 4 bedroom. Anybody?
They are in this area here, at least from what I saw so far when I got here. there are no fours. We are basically, that's what I said, like first, right now, the biggest competition for us for the 4 bedrooms are private rental homes, because now, you know, with everything that happened now, there is availability for that. So the one I toured 3 bedrooms.
I can find some. I trust me, I can find some. I know Lincoln and Greystar have some. I've seen, and they have your same product. So
A villa?
so okay. So as far as I see right now, I don't see that anybody has been able to shop a 4-bedroom yet. So you probably have shopped your comps. You may have shopped the 1s and 2s. But let's focus on maybe trying to see if we can find some 4-bedrooms to shop, so we know what our comps have on the 4-bedroom side. So pull their websites, compare the pros and cons, compare their floor plans to yours. Does their price match ours, or are we better than them? Are their prices higher? So you want to make sure that you know what your comps are charging for 4-bedrooms, and if somebody does lease somewhere else on a 4-bedroom, find out where they leased at. Ask your prospect why they like that community, why they toured it.
Okay.
All right. Louisa, Justin, any kind of last thoughts as far as like how your product differs from your comps?
I feel like we hit on that like a lot on that last one. Like I said, lower deposits. You don't have to worry about writing a letter to the homeowner to try to make yourself stand out, because at the end of the day, the application process is the same for everyone, which is where that sense of urgency comes in too. The amenities, you know, full-size gyms. I have people at Trinity Falls who've come over here and said that the gym that they have over there for all of those homes is a quarter of the size of the one we have here. I mean, even their residents are talking about trying to use our pools here this summer.
Yeah.
I have to say that I think like the beauty about the product, okay, all of the products for W3s, it comes to the guest closet. I do believe from everything that I've seen here, and of course in Houston, we have the biggest guest closets overall. Everybody gets impressed, and I always present them before they even go inside. Let me surprise you, right? And then they got like, wow, and then they say, well, it's getting better. So when they move to the master, it's even bigger, right? Because you have to, like, it's good to tell them ahead of the time, surprise them even more when they see. So most people, when they come to tour, they get very impressed about the guest bedrooms closet size, which it's really amazing, because most properties like the comps, they might have, for example, a nice size guest bedroom, but the closets are this big, right? Here we have guest closets for all of the floor plans, basically, with a very nice size.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's always good to touch base on that.
Well, you guys, we are wrapping up now. It's already 11:30, so I want to make sure I get you guys back on the floor. But before we go, thank you guys to Justin and Louisa for joining us today and giving your insight. I would recommend anybody on the call, if you are, you feel like you would love to shadow them for a day, talk with your manager about it. We would love to have your manager allow you to go and shadow Louisa or go shadow Justin on one of the days they're actually on the leasing floor, just to get some tips. Louisa brings some great overall attitude and her suspense when she builds up her tours. Justin is so knowledgeable in the way he converses with how they're different and the differences between the two. So it's great to shadow them if you get a chance. And last but not least, if you will, in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and let me know, how many 4-bedrooms do you plan on leasing this month? If you have 4 bedrooms. If you don't, then you are good to go. But if you have 4 bedrooms at your community, all right. Mansions, Prosper said all 3. Look at y'all. Y'all only have a few. That's going to be an easy one. How about anybody else? Anybody else on the call have any 4 bedrooms? And if so, how many?
When Mansions runs out, if they want to send their referrals this way, that'd be cool.
All right. Okay. Well, you guys, thank y'all for joining us today. Thank you guys for being on the call. Hope you guys all have a great rest of the day. Talk to you soon.
Happy leasing. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.